6 girls accuse Syrian refugee of molestation, judge drops all charges with 3 sick words. Despite being accused by 6 children of sexual molestation, a judge acquitted the accused Syrian refugee after turning to the child victims and issuing 3 disturbing words. In the name of compassion and tolerance, the West continues to capitulate to the tiny minority of extremists who wish to destroy our society and replace it with a totalitarian regime. In this pro-Islamic atmosphere, Muslims are always victims because of the perceived oppression they suffer as a minority demographic. Unfortunately, when this demographic isn't claiming to be oppressed, they are the ones doing the oppressing. Thanks to the liberal narrative that all cultures have equal value, Sharia law is gaining a foothold in the Western justice system. Additionally, Muslim suspects are garnering sympathy in the courtrooms simply because of their diverse background. In fact, even those accused of the most reprehensible crimes are swaying the courts solely because of their minority status. In Canada, where Sharia-style speech laws are enforced, a group of young girls between the ages of 13 and 15 came forward to accuse 40-year-old Syrian refugee Soliman Haj Soliman of sexually assaulting them. Soliman had allegedly groped and fondled the girls while swimming with them in a wave pool at the West Edmonton Mall Water Park in February 2017, Global News reports. While several of the girls managed to confirm Soliman as their molester, a few of the girls had trouble identifying him, likely due to many factors such as the torrential waters, clamoring crowd, and the fact that he was wearing goggles and swimming away in a hurry. Unbelievably, not only did the judge dismiss all charges against the accused, she also gave a stomach-churning explanation for her ruling. According to CBC News, despite the fact that several of the girls managed to identify Soliman as their molester, Judge Joyce Lester acquitted the Syrian refugee of all 12 charges, noting his different cultural background as a factor in her decision. The court seemingly suggested that the children either targeted Soliman because of his cultural background or are guilty of racist thinking by possibly confusing him for the real perpetrator based on their perceived shared cultural background. Judge Lester claims that because all 6 children couldn't agree that Soliman was the man who groped them, he couldn't possibly have molested any of the girls. Although she could have simply dropped the charges that didn't match up with the evidence while upholding the charges that did. Disturbingly, she chose to acquit him of all 12 charges, which included 6 counts of sexual assault and 6 counts of sexual contact with a child. It's possible that there may have been more than one attacker. However, the fact that the judge completely disregarded that several of the child victims positively identified Soliman as their molester has sparked warranted outrage within the community. Still, Judge Lester maintains that she simply didn't have sufficient evidence to convict the accused. Judge Lester explained that her reasoning for dropping all charges was that all 6 girls could not agree on their attacker's color of swim trunks, pattern of goggles, or hairstyle. She pointed out that descriptions included the molester having dark hair, being bald, or wearing clear or rainbow-colored, zebra-patterned goggles. The judge also accused the children of cross-contamination of evidence, arguing that because several of the victims had discussed the case at a sleepover the night of the incident, their testimonies were not credible. Understandably, several of the victims and their families left the courtroom weeping. Crown Prosecutor Lori Trahan admitted her disappointment in the court's ruling, adding that she may appeal the decision on behalf of the child victims. The West is sacrificing its values, progress, and freedoms to an oppressive and culturally homogeneous ideology in the name of multiculturalism and diversity. Unfortunately, if we do not combat this threat now, it is not us who will suffer the full effect.